Hey guys, another installment of Driving at Home with the Professor. I think people have been enjoying it, so keep doing it. Anyway, I got a Facebook message from Diana Zaccanini. She is the girlfriend of a very good friend of mine, and she's also a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And she asked, it's a two-part question. And she asked, how I got started in like running and owning a school, and also what kind of advice would I give somebody who wants to kind of follow their dreams and passions and that kind of thing. So I got started being a martial arts instructor through a friend of mine who since passed away. His name was Joe Prioli, and he was the owner of Champion Martial Arts. Joe brought me on, asked me if I wanted to teach. I was working a desk job in Center City, Philadelphia. I was a business systems analyst for a major health insurance company. And I hated my life, I hated my job, and jumped at the opportunity to take a huge pay cut to teach jiu-jitsu. Joe was a successful mixed martial arts fighter, very much ahead of his time, with the plan of, once I kind of learned the ropes, was to open up my own school with Joe and so forth and so on. Unfortunately, Joe became sick. He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which, if you guys watch Seinfeld, it's the bad Hodgkin's. I'm sorry, or Larry David. Anyway, it's the bad Hodgkin's. He passed away from cancer. Not to make light of it. It was pretty sad. And the school was owned by a friend of Joe's family, and I was running the school. And I got the opportunity to buy the school from this woman with a business partner, who I since no longer have that business partner. And that's how we got to basically NJMA. Thankfully, through Joe Prioli, who thought enough of me to want me to teach at his school, to kind of learn the ropes with him years ago, and teach me how a school's run and how to treat students and all that stuff. Joe's a tough fighter, tough jiu-jitsu guy, high-level kickboxer. I forget what degree, black belt in Taekwondo. When he passed away, I believe he was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Competed at the Worlds. Just an all-around tough dude. Miss him to this day, and carry on his legacy by keeping a school very close to where his original school was. So that leads me to the next question: is what kind of advice would I give somebody who kind of wants to follow their dreams? And it's tough because you have this one side. A lot of times it's your family, it's your parents, and telling you to take the safe route and do the right thing and go to school and get a job. And, all those things are great and honorable, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was lucky enough to have a father who was, very hardworking family man, who loved his family and, really took his responsibility seriously. But I also had somebody else in my life, my best friend's father, who was a former city councilman, an attorney, never quite seemed like he went to work, worked when he wanted to, just an amazing person. Very lucky to have him in my life. And I think I found a nice balance of kind of influences there. So step number one is having some people in your life that can mentor you or influence you in that direction. Step number two, I would recommend being okay with being at zero. And what I mean at zero, man, go for it, go balls to the wall, and the risk is you'll be broke. You'll have no money. Or the reward is that you've made the best decision in your life, and it's the most satisfying decision you've ever made. Like when I decided to become a martial arts instructor, then when I decided to buy my school, and then when I decided to buy my partner out, all decisions that brought me to zero, because they all needed money to do all that other stuff. But the greatest decisions I ever made. So highly recommend having people in your life that can kind of show you the path or guide you. And then the other part is making sure that you're okay with being at zero, because it's not fun and it's scary. And like I said, I've been there twice. Hope to never be there again. But that was something that I had to resolve to myself. You know, I did it before, or if it's the first time you're doing it, you know what, you need to believe in yourself and move forward. One of the books that I read right around the time I made the decision to become a martial arts instructor and leave a good job and something that my parents were proud of me for doing, or the job they were proud of that I had, was Into the Wild by John Krakauer. Now, it doesn't have the greatest ending, but in the sense of the outcome, but the character, to me, Walt McCandless, I believe was his name, had a kind of strength of conviction and a strength of character, and he decided at one point, this is what I'm going to do. He burned all of his money. He stopped talking to his family, which I'm not a big proponent of, but you know, that he felt like he needed to do that. And he went across the United States till he made it to Alaska, and he was going to go into the wilds of Alaska. So obviously, you know why it's called Into the Wild. But it's a book that I read, and I respected what the McCandless kid did after graduating. I believe it was from Vanderbilt. And it was a book that, you know, obviously I didn't burn all my money and all that other stuff, but it was a book that kind of gave me, the strength of confidence of saying this other guy did it, and his risks were much bigger than mine. His risk was his body, you know, his life. Where what my risk is money. You know, and if you live long enough, you can make more money, and you know that's the kind of thing I looked at, and I decided to take the plunge. So, Diana, awesome question. I hope I kept it short enough where it was interesting. But guys and gals, please keep them coming. I really appreciate the questions, and I'm going to any question I'm asked, I will give you an honest answer. May not be a popular answer, may not be an answer that you may like, but I will give you the honest answer that I have. All right, guys, you can check us out online, njmaonline.com. You can check me out on Facebook. Facebook is Marco Perazzo, and on Twitter, Team NJMA. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend.